This video is to show how I changed the main motor on my Babylock EMP6. It's got over 110 million stitches, over 3,000 hours, and the main motor finally died. It's right behind this cover right here, but just to remove that cover won't do you any good. You got a lot more to get at. So I've already taken off all the screws, and I've taken off the tree on top that holds the thread to get it out of the way. Pull the thumb screw that allows this screen to pivot, and you pull these two screws right here, and you pull this little cover out, set it off to the side. You pull the 1, 2, 3 screws right here for this side cover right here, and it'll come off. On this right cover, in a way you do have to move it. It just gives you more room to work. Back in here is a screw, a sheet metal screw, and then you'll find some screws. All the screws are hidden behind plastic plugs. I pulled it off just to get it out of my way. And then on the embroidery arm, it's hard to see right here, but there are 4 screws that hold the top plastic cover. On this embroidery arm, there's a plastic cover here. It's held on by 4 screws. It kind of stops a lot of the progress, so you pull out the 4 screws, slightly stretch that out a little bit, and it'll lift off. Okay, for the leg cover, this one on the right side, if you're looking straight at the machine, there's an inside cover on inside the leg. You pull it off. I've slid the embroidery arm forward. This is, of course, with the machine off, power unplugged. Power unplugged from the machine as well. You undo 3 screws. Once you get the screws out, got a little tab on the back that I have to kind of break loose, and then just slide it out. This fan right here, right behind it, that is the main motor. The belt's right here, and if you follow the belt up, it goes up behind the manual wheel onto a pulley. That's the motor I'm going to replace. Okay, in the troubleshooting, they have you check the connection for the motor, the main motor, which is right here on the PC board. It was obviously tight. And then the next step is to have you check for resistance through the motor, 1 to 2 ohms. My connector, my volt ohm meter, it's a little tight to get in there. You can either do it on the back side. There's 2 metal ports, so you can check in here. And I had basically no resistance through it. So now I'm down to changing the motor. Before I disassemble, remove the motor, what I do is I take a pencil, tape it to the take-up arm, so that way everything stays in sync the way it should be. Once you move the motor, you don't want everything to get out of timing. Okay, to change the main motor, which is buried back behind this PC board, I found the easiest way to get at it is there's this PC board's held on 4 screws, 1 in each corner. Pull the 4 screws off, set them off to the side, save them, and then this PC board will move out of the way. Okay, to remove the main motor, there's 2 hex head nuts, or screws, that are mounted here. You loosen them up, pull them out, and you're going to find the motor gets real loose. These are the adjusting screws for the belt. Set these off to the side. I bought a new belt to put when I put the motor on, since the original belt. And slip the belt off over the wheel. Now you can bring this out here and work on transferring the motor on the bracket. Okay, here's the new motor, and here's the motor assembly that I have to transfer all the parts over to the new one. One of the first things they have you take off is this little plastic cover on the end. It protects the end bearing. You just pulls off. Carefully fit it in on the new one. It snaps in place. Now the rest is going to be a little trickier because you got to get the fan blade off. That's been on, mine's been on there for a long time. You got to get the fan blade off to get at the screws to take the rest apart. So I'm taking a screwdriver and pry it off. It comes off pretty easy, I'm finding out. It's the original one. I went ahead and bought a new fan because I figured as long as that fan's been on there, it might give me fits. Here's what the new one looks like. Here's the old. I'll probably go ahead and use the new since it's just a press fit, and the old one might become brittle. Now we got to transfer, take the belt off. Now you can see all the screw. Now we got to transfer the hardware, mounting hardware, to the new one. To help orient yourself, I laid the new motor, or the old motor, down on the bracket flat. If you're looking at from this end, you'll see the red wires on the left, black's on the right. That's how I'm going to lay the new motor down. And what I'm going to do is I take out these two screws and then move the bracket over here. Okay, here it is. The brackets, just like I said, undo two screws. The whole assembly, this whole assembly came off as one piece. Transfer it over to the new one. Put the belt on here first, and then push on the new fan, because you won't be able to get the fan on, or the belt on, as easy. Now we're ready to install it again. Before I install this new motor, back here you'll see a tension wheel that the other belt pushes against, and this new belt will push against. I put some sewing machine oil on both sides, and I'm going to work it in. I'm finding that it moves a lot freer now. It was starting to drag a little bit. Plus I'll go through here and I'll do canned air and just kind of blow everything out, clean everything up. That way I got a little more access here. Now's the time to do it. No sense in putting it back together dirty. Okay, to put the new motor assembly in here, so we've got a new belt on it. Make sure the teeth are down on the gear. And you need to feed the wire back behind this PC board. Okay, before I install the motor, I need to feed the belt over the manual knob. Otherwise, if you get the motor on, it'll be too tight. Get down there. Now I'm just going to start the screws. When you feed the motor in, you got to make sure the wire comes back behind the PC cardboard, this board right here, because it's got to feed around to the connector. Okay, and service manual page 4-16 that tells you how to adjust the belt tension. They want you to have either pressure, or they give you a measurement 1.5 to 3.5 millimeters, which really isn't very much pressure on the belt. I'm just holding fairly snug pressure. You can probably see where the old adjustment points were. And just tighten it down. You just hold pressure down on this metal plate. It keeps the belt taut. Now what I'll do is hook this PC board back up. Got the screws all started for the board. Just lightly snug them. Remember, this is not something you want to really wrench down real hard. Tighten them all up. And take your wire, feed it over here. When they go on really basically one way to properly snap it into place. Okay, I've hooked power back up. 10 to 1, since you've messed with it, you're going to get an inappropriate air, inappropriate needle air. If you're powered up, everything kind of resyncs itself. Huh? Everything's good. Get rid of my air code. Now all I got to do is lube everything up, clean everything up, put the covers back on. Hope that helps save somebody some time and money.